Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We're on the ground here at Charlotte Douglas, and we're going to be doing something a little different today. So, just want to thank you all for being patient with me. Some troubles that we've been having recently is the power supply in my computer went out, so that's why there wasn't videos for a little bit. Got that taken care of now, so we're all good to go. This will go out on Friday, and we're going to be doing a double feature episode. I'm probably going to split it into two, but record or upload them both same time. That way, smaller bite-sized pieces for you people. Because we reached 50 subscribers, and I appreciate that, and I want to thank every single one of you for contributing and engaging and liking and commenting and subscribing. It means a lot. So we're gonna start a new series today. Something a little different. And what do I mean by a little different? Well, if I can turn around here, this is what I mean by a little different. That's right, F28. So, day is February 28th of 1986. We are a captain for Piedmont Airlines on the F28. We just transferred down from the FO position on the 727. But this has better pay, better hours, and we're a captain instead of an FO, which is why we took the downgrade, technically, in airplanes. So, we're going to be starting this series off with a 3-day trip. This is historically based. Piedmont did fly these routes with this airplane. However, the flight numbers may not be correct. The flight numbers are based on 1983 statistics, which I was able to obtain. And back then they did not have the Fokker, so the flight numbers may have changed, but they definitely did have these routes with this airplane in 1986. Anyway, let's begin. Let's go ahead and do a walk around of the airplane. Walk up to it here and take a look-see around. Beautiful airplane. We're in November 505 today. Got the lights on and everything. Wonderful airplane. Look at that leading edge. As you can see, no nav lights. This is the 80s. It was not federally mandated that you turn on the nav lights whenever the aircraft is powered at this point. So we are treating it as such. Look at our spoiler here. Looks good. Got our cargo doors and all that open. Flaps are up. Ailerons are looking good. The other side of the here looks good. Looking at the slats and that. The leading edge of the wing. Cargo doors are open up here. Got the GPU connected. It's a little strange. Can't hear it from the outside. A bit funky, but oh well. Anyway, let's head to the aircraft and get started here. It's about 1:45-ish. And, well, our departure time is 2:20. And we're on Piedmont 386 today. That's our first flight, and that'll take us up to Charleston, West Virginia. Then we'll be doing a flight 384 from Charleston, West Virginia to Washington National in Washington, D.C. And then there's one more flight after that, if I actually look here, because I forgot what it is. Oh, we got two more flights after that. 800, which is Washington National to Roanoke, and then 352 Roanoke, Pittsburgh. So, anyway, that's that. Let's begin, shall we? Ooh, I buggered something up here. Apologize for the flash. Should look a little better. Anyway, let's head to the flight deck here. We're going to order some catering here and that, so let's just get that door preemptively open. Sit down in the seat here. Get some ground services moving about. Make sure that's how it should be. We're going to request refueling. Sometimes you have to hit it twice now, which is a little funky. They don't have Piedmont in GSX, so we'll just Do
Please don't load aircraft
US
until
Air.
the fuel truck arrives.
Alright, and we'll request the catering. So we'll wait for that to go do its thing. Anyway, let's go and do our originating flows here. So, spoilers are retracted, lift dumpers are in, flaps are up, throttles are idle. Flaps are up, yep. Throttles are idle. Our gust lock is engaged. The weather radar is off. We'll go ahead and set that to standby. Gears down, 4 green. APU is off. We're on ground power. Confirm that here. We're on every bus. Let's get all that going. Let's see here. Verify. 115, 16-ish volts and about 410 cycles, which is a little high, but it's okay. Or sorry, 405 cycles per second, which is a little high. That's okay. Battery voltage is good. Battery 2 voltage is good. TRU 1, bus 1, essential bus 2, TRU 2. Wonderful. So we'll go ahead and do our overhead flows here. So the gens are as they should be. Check these lights. TRUs are on, obviously. That's all set up. Guarded. Emergency exit lights can go to armed. That's guarded and with the wire. AP is off. Check these lights. Everything else is off there. Let's look good. Starter valve light, that's good. Starter master's off. These are normal. That's centered. That's good. We just checked the voltages in that. Cabin pressure. Check that light. Go check our bleed air supply lights. Everything should be in auto and on, which it is. Go ahead and turn our right pack switch to on, and that'll automatically turn on once we get some APU air. This airplane's a little funky. It's smarter than you think it is, but also dumber than you think it is in some regards. That's all good. We're going up to, and I'll bring up my flight plan here for you. Going up to 280 today, so we'll go ahead and dial the cabin altitude until we see 280 in this little window here. And we'll just be just shy of 5,000 feet inside the cabin. Wonderful. We'll come back to our flight plan here in a moment. Pitot heats are off, that's fine. And I didn't check these lights. And more lights down here. Nope. Okay. That's all good. That's in yeah, that's where it should be. Anti-ice is off, as it should be. You can see the valves are closed here. Right hand normal. That's fine. It's all good. I'll go ahead and put the valve test on. Oh, sorry, that's not the valve test. This should be the valve test, but I forget how that works, so we're just gonna ignore it. Those are off for now, and we'll just hit the test. That should illuminate, and we should get the isotech light down here. That should go off after about 2-ish minutes. Windshield heating priority, left-hand pilot flying today. And it can go on to low because we are below 20 Celsius. But above 0, so that's fine. Go ahead and test the CVR while we're here. It's a fuel truck here. Yes, it is. Okay, how much fuel do we need? Let's actually bring up the flight plan again here for y'all. So, we need 12.9. So we'll type that in there. $12,900. Enter that in. You can hear them start to do it. Do their thing. Wonderful. We'll go ahead and test our warning lights here. Wunderbar. That's all looking good. Go ahead, and the airplane's been sitting on the ground for a while, so we'll just go to pressurize the hydraulics really quickly. Make sure we have brake pressure, and reset the parking brake. Wait for those to stabilize, then we'll kick them off. And the lights extinguish, as they should. Wonderful. Alright, no ATC today, but we're gonna say 12,000 as our initial. That's all fine. The current weather is winds calm, 10 statute mile visibility, broken clouds 17,000, broken 20,000, broken 25,000, temperature 7, dew point -6, and temperature 3045. So we'll dial this all the way up. And is that one linked? Yes. I like to see it. We'll go ahead and reset the master warning. That sounds like the fueling's done, so we'll go ahead and kick on the good old no smoking sign here. We'll get up out of our seat. Cabin's prepped for boarding. We can go ahead and close this. Catering's done. And we'll go ahead and get some people on the airplane. Things in this era went a lot quicker. A lot less to do. Alright, a few more checks we need to do here. So, we'll check the fire warning here. 1, 2. That's great. TVI test. Great, you saw that. Alrighty. Caution lights can stand for that. You see the fuel pressure lights and the pump lights here. Turn one on, boom, that goes up. Extinguishes both of them. And we put this one on, boom, extinguishes both of them. So we'll just kick those on. And these two. Got no fuel in the center today, so we don't need center pumps. That's in standby as it should be. Wonderful. Don't need any lights right now. Com 1, we'll just set that to 22.8 and leave it where it's at. That's fine. Everything down here should be as is. Yep. Avionics masters are on. Transponder, we're going to do 1623. That's set. Sounds like we've got the bags loading, and people should be coming here as they are. That's our crew, I guess. Okay. We'll worry about the flight director and autopilot here in a second. Alright, we'll go ahead and ditch the gust lock. We should be able to move our controls, which they're moving real slow because no hydraulics. Right. So, let's get our frequencies dialed in here. So, if we look, flight plan's pretty simple. We're going to go out one lane left, which is just right behind us here, very short taxi. We're going to go, I think I'm just going to bypass the Charlotte VOR, and we're just going to go direct to Barrett's. But I am going to tune in the Charlotte VOR because we want 5 to 7 DMEs when we're going to do that right turn. So the Charlotte VOR is 115.0. We'll dial that in the nav 2. And that'll give us DME. I'm not going to bother tuning in a course because we're not flying to it. As you see, if we look down here, we should get, if I can remember where the damn DME is. Wow, brain fart. DME, how does that work?
Your crew has boarded. Passengers boarding starting.
Miles, alright. I guess it's not really working at the moment. That's fine. Regardless. 115.0 is what we want. Yeah, I guess it's not displaying it at the moment. That's fine. Anyway, we'll leave it on nav 1. We'll dial in the Barrett's Mountain VOR or Hickory VOR. It's going to be 1375. Oh, I know why it's not working. Might help if you actually turned it on. Wow, what a concept. Alright, 1375. For 1375, and we want a course of 349. You hear people boarding, you can see them coming up here. I had it right there for a second. Alright, there we go. 349. Dial the flight director up here to help assist us on the climb out, and we'll go straight to heading mode. And we're going to want a heading of, let's see, runway heading is 183, so we'll go ahead and dial that in on our HSI. Oh, that's right, you got to dial it in up here. So what did I say, 183? There we go, right about there should do. That'll give us a nice runway heading out of town here. So that's us configured, and we should have DME now of well, do we have a standby DME here? I'll just get a nav 2 here. Yeah, it's 2.2 miles, so we'll just keep that there. We're not looking to fly towards it or anything. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll get rid of this chart. And we'll just tune in the next course, which is going to be towards the Charleston VOR, which is course 358.
Hey, Ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
There we go, 358. Cool. So yeah, then we'll just switch back over to Nav 1 once we got our DME the way we want it.
I'm doing good.
Remember, 5 to 7 DME, right turn, boom, we're gone. Alright. And actually, I'm going to set our heading to about 275. And that's what we'll use as a reference for when we actually turn. Right about there should do. Okay. Cool, we've got that set up. We got our frequencies set up. Let me pull up my checklist here. Actually, before we do that, we're going to be doing a derated takeoff, so I'm actually getting Navigraph out of your way. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see this, but I have a chart pulled up for the thrust index on the Fokker. So, temperature right now is 4 degrees. And we're at an altitude of almost sea level. I know that. We are at an altitude of, oh, never mind, almost 800 feet, so 750 feet. So if I look at my chart, I go up to 800 feet, and we are at temperature at 4, so just go all the way down. So the normal thrust index is going to be 170. We've got plenty of runway, so I'm going to use an assumed temperature of 26. We're going to go pretty conservative here for the first one because I'm not too familiar with this airplane. About 800 feet, so that should give us a thrust index of 158. So we'll go ahead and crawl up here and dial that in, if I can figure out how to do it. So yeah, here, and 170 is what it should have been set at, which it is, but we're going to dial it down to 158. And that's going to be our D rate for today. So that's an assumed temperature of 26 degrees. Alright, boom. And we can achieve that by just getting this into the detent, which you can hear there. And that's all the way forward. There's detent, and there's idle. So, that's that. And as you can see, our flight director's bang on perfect. And it's on the heading mode, which... that's fine, I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. And our heading bug is set just about the way we want it. Alright, cool. That's what we want. Passengers are still boarding. Cargo, I think, is Just about done. Yeah, it's done. So we'll go ahead and get the APU firing up here. So how do we do that? All right, come up over here to the APU panel. Go ahead and click her on here. Or that's the generator. My bad. All right, main switch on. Boom, that'll come on. We'll give it a couple seconds here to let the APU door open, inlet door open. And we'll go ahead and click start. And she'll come to life. Anyway, that's right, I was pulling up my checklist. I'm scatterbrained. Alright. So, go and do our originating checklist here in just a second. We heard that kick on, it's still coming up here. It's just about stabilized. TGT is stabilized. So we'll go ahead and flick on the gen. You'll see the load pick up, and external power bus can come off. You'll hear it switch over, which it does. And then APU air can come on, and the right pack will automatically kick on. Now the APU can only power one pack at a time, so on this airplane. Alright, well, before they do that, let's get the ground power out of here. Forward and aft cargo doors can go bye-bye. Alright, originating checklist. Crew oxygen masks checked 100%. I forget how to check them, but here's the mask here. I think there's a thing somewhere. I forget how to do it. Whatever. We'll say it's checked. Audio warning panel is checked. Electrical power panel is checked. Fire detection, fire X monitor test is checked. External lights panel, that was checked. Fuel panel is checked. So just to verify, we've got the amount of gas on board. It's in kilograms, but it's roughly about what we need. Bleed air panel is set. We've got one pack on. APU panel is, so get APU running. Start panel is checked. Hydraulic panel is checked. And 3A is on. Yep. ELT switch has been armed. Cabin pressure panel is checked. We've got that set for 280. Air conditioning panel's checked. Get right pack on. Anti-ice panel has been tested and checked. Windshield heat is on low. Emergency light switch is unarmed. Standby compass is checked. Nose wheel steering switch is... it's on for now, which is fine. Just leave that on. Clocks are set. Instrument panels have been checked. Alright, upper pedestal is checked. Thrust lever quadrant checked. Avionics radio tuning panels have been checked and are on. Trim. We'll come over here to our performance in the thing here. Oh wait, does this even have a performance panel? No, it doesn't. That's right. Just gotta click this here, and that'll set our bugs. Just want to check one more time to make sure there isn't a performance dealio here. No. Alright, we're good. The trim, we're gonna set about 2 units nose up, or 2.5 units nose up. So we got that set there. APU is running. We got people on board. We're just about ready to go. Let's continue. Trims are set. Yaw damper can come on now. And source select panel is in normal. Alright, that's our originating checklist. Forward start checklist. Passenger signs are on. Both. Or, I guess I turned them off. On both. Landing elevation. Don't think we have to worry about that in this particular version. Altimeters are set. We got 3045 cross check, And radio nav aids are set, and takeoff briefing. So, going off runway 18 left, 5-7 DME, right turn. Anything below 80 knots, bring to a stop on a runway, figure out what we got, taxi off, and go from there. Anything above 80 knots, high-speed regime, fire, fear, or shear, bring to a stop on the runway, figure out what we got, whether we need to evacuate or exit, taxi back, or possibly do brake cooling. Anything above V1/VR, we're dealing with it in the air. And if the airplane just will not fly, we'll find a place to put her down for minimal damage. Anyway, that is the before start checklist. So, let's go get the airplane buttoned up. Come out to the back here. Get the stairs closed up here. Cargo doors have all been closed and stuff like that. Parking brake is set so the chocks can come off. Tell GSX that we're getting ready to go here. Alright, and we're all set as far as that goes, so go ahead and close the cockpit door here. And GSX should be doing its thing. Yep. Okay. So let's go ahead and get our anti-collision lights on, upper and lower. Ready to set ADF's off for now. We don't really need it for this flight. Yeah, we'll turn it on just in case we do end up using it. Sorry, that's HF. Whoops. I'm going to turn on the ADF, both 1 and 2. Okay. That's good. So we are completely ready to go. We'll go do the clear to start checklist. So, APU is on, electrics are checked, and we'll just verify that here by switching this to the APU bus. If there's even an option for it. Oh, it's Gen 3, duh. This airplane's a little weird, which that's all good. We'll switch it to the essential bus, which is fine. Okay, electrics are set. Takeoff data has been set and the bugs have been set. Doors are closed and locked, and all 3 lights are out. Beacon is on. Fuel pumps and quantity are on and set. Quantity is checked. Hydraulic pumps are in auto and on, and parking brake is set. Clear to start checklist complete. And we are going nose to the right. I think. Well, we'll find out if it's not. Anyway, we got some warnings here, so that's just... Yep, that's fine. And that's fine. Okay, parking brake release. Let's go.
Commencing push.
So, as far as engine start, we'll come up here. We'll go ahead and turn the ignition system on, or starter master on. We'll click it to number 1. Start sequence to be 1, then 2. Once we started at 1, we hear and we see the starter engage, starter valve light open. We'll come down here. We'll watch for the high pressure get up to 20%. Then we'll pop this into the start position. That will engage the igniters and introduce fuel. Once it gets up to about 45%-ish, 40-45%, we'll click it into run and wait for it to stabilize. Once we got that, we'll go up and do the same thing with the other engine. And the packs are automatic. So, starter master's on, starting number 1. Right about there's 20%. Going to start. Igniters and fuel. You can hear it light off. And TGT is rising. Alright, about there's 40%. Go to run mode. There's the gen kicking over. Parking brake set.
For a good engine start.
And the engine is stabilized, so we'll tell GSX we're good to go. And we'll go ahead and start number 2. High pressure rising. Right about there. Click it to start. Igniters and in here to engage. TGT is rising. Waiting for about 40%. Alright, click it to run.
Tow truck disconnected.
There comes the pack, starter cutout. Wait for it to stabilize, which it basically has.
Right is clear.
All good to go. So, APU gen, so let's just check the buses here. Bus 1, bus 2. Good to go. So, we'll go ahead and ditch the Gen 3. Ditch the APU air. Get pack number 2 on. And we'll go ahead and shut down the APU. You'll see that light come on and it'll shut down. The main switch can come off. Go and get the probe heats on. Don't need anti-ice. Go ahead and do a flaps 11, because that's there. Yeah, we'll go flaps 6, and we'll go ahead and reset the bugs here. We'll make sure the flaps actually go to 6, which they do. And so, oops. I think we've got our hand signal. I think we got that a minute ago. So we're good to go as far as that's concerned. Just to confirm, the gust lock is removed. So I'll go ahead and weather radar on. Our thrust index is set. Everything looks good. Quickly just kill the lights in the cabin. And we will release the parking brake and taxi out. All the warnings here are good, so we'll clear the master warning. Throttles up, let's go. So go ahead and do a control check here. And we'll do the after start checklist. Generators are on, electrics are checked, bleed valves are auto, packs are on, APU is off, anti-ice is not required, nose wheel steering is armed. After start checklist complete. I'm going to come to a stop here because I want to do the taxi checklist and figure out where exactly I'm going. Should be just up the front of us, I believe, but yeah, just straight ahead. Taxi checklist, slots flaps 6 degrees indicating flight controls, free and correct trims are set and in the green. Thrust reversers are not equipped on this aircraft. The TTC controls, however, are in the takeoff position. Brake temps are good, flight instruments are checked, and we'll go ahead and arm the lift dumper. That is the text check complete. I'm looking at the wrong checklist, aren't I? I'm an idiot. This entire time. It looked a little strange. Well, that's more entertaining for you guys. Alright, so let's do the after start checklist. Warning door lights are out. Electrical generators on checked. APU air is off. Starter master switch is on. Starter master switch? That's a good question. Now off. Air conditioning and pressurization both on and set. Anti-ice is it should be auto and on. Okay. Or auto or on. So we'll set it to auto. Pitot heat is on. High pressure fuel valve levers are open. And flight control lights are all out. Go ahead and get the taxi light on here. Alright, and that's the after start checklist complete. Taxi and takeoff. Yaw damper is in. Flight controls are free and correct. Flaps are 6 degrees. Stabilizer trim is 2.5 units up. Lift dumpers are armed and ready. If I can get situated here. Yep, armed and ready. Collector tank indicators are black. Control cabin door is locked. Shoulder harness secured. Takeoff data and briefing is reviewed and complete. Bugs are set. APU is off. And transponder can go to on. Cool. Alright, now we're good to go. I am an absolute tard. Anyway. Go straight to the runway in front of us. That's 18 left. So go ahead and, if I can get my thing to stabilize out here. Alright, we'll go ahead and notify the cabin. Go ahead and hold short of 18 left here. Set the parking brake for now. And we've already done the before takeoff checklist, and we got a cabin secure, so that's all good to go. Just to confirm, the lift dumpers are armed, and control locks removed. I'm ready, let's go. So, brakes off. All the lights can come on. Strobe can come on at this point. Nav lights stay off. Alright, let's boogie. So we'll advance the throttles to the detent and watch the engines rise, and we should be good to go. Just want a better view of the HSI and everything here. Alright, we'll go set her into the detent. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. A little bit more nose up, trim to her. See that good climb angle. Go ahead and go, flaps up. Getting a little bit of turbulence out of here. Making me fight for it. Wow, it's turbulent. Alright, right about there is 5DB. We'll start our turn to the heading. So we'll start following the flight director. Go ahead and set the TTC levers back to climb. And we'll go and switch to nav 1. Switch this over to VOR loc mode. Go ahead and engage the autopilot. Go beam and IAS mode. And we are not climbing. There we go. Starting to come up now. That to a more reasonable angle. And away we climb. Alright, so lofts are up, gears up. Lift uppers are disarmed. TDT is well within their limits, engines are all within the limits. Go ahead and go pitch mode, and we'll go ahead and pitch down a little bit. To accelerate, get some more speed here. May have gone too far with it. Definitely did. Alright, anyway, no smoking sign come off. Tell them to light them up. Definitely keep the seatbelt sign on for now. Alright, we're in the D10. That should help us keep some speed. Go ahead and cycle this all the way up to 280. That's good. We're climbing away. We'll set in the Charleston VOR frequency, which is 117.4. Alright, that's set. We're not climbing very fast, we're also not accelerating. Pitch mode, right? I'm gonna increase our thrust just a little bit more. Go. That should give us the ability to climb or accelerate more. And since we're so close to 10,000, we'll accelerate right to about 270 knots, which will be our climb speed. It's looking, everything looks great up here. Pressurizing like we should. Alright, wonderful. Once we get to 270 on the speed, I'm going to go ahead and switch over. There's 10,000 feet. The lights can come off. I can get it off. There we go. approaching 260 knots. Anyway, after takeoff checklist, no swing sign is off, landing gear is up, flaps are up, air conditioning pressurization is set, lift dampers are in, TTC switches are in climb. After takeoff checklist complete. A little bit more on the speed. We're at about 266, 267, 268, 269, 270. IAS mode, please. You are now free to climb like a rocket. Alright, and that's it for me. I will see you guys once we get close to our top of descent. Actually, we'll come back at 18,000, then top descent. There we are, just past 18,000, so go ahead and dial this back down to standard. And as you can see, it's still pretty bumpy, so seatbelt sign stays on. Alright folks, here we are. So we're just about at top descent. Sorry for the lack of outside scenic shots. This airplane is a handful and has a really short cruise. Anyway, so we need to reset our altitude down to 2,900. And we're going to hold IAS and bring back the throttles. Now you definitely want to keep some thrust in, because that's how this airplane likes to behave. So we'll just take it right above the warning, and we'll throw out some spoiler, and that will help us get down. Now we're looking for a descent speed of about 1,800 feet per minute. It's a bit too much. So basically just using our spoiler as a means of getting down. It's a little finicky, so you kind of gotta adjust, wait, readjust. Right about there is where we'll set it. Power and speed brake, that's how this airplane is. Kind of funky. Anyway, we'll go ahead and do the descent checklist. So, AC pressurization, descent, altimeter, and instruments are cross-checked. IAS bugs are now set, and TTC switches can go back to the takeoff position. Alright, and that is us configured. Down we go. Alright, we're getting closer here, so I'm going to go ahead and put out a notch of flaps. Or 2 notches of flaps. Get to flaps 11. Go ahead and engage heading mode. Switch over to nav 1, which will have our ILS. Going to add a little bit of thrust here. I tuned them back so that way we get down quicker. Go ahead and arm the lift dumpers. That flag just went away, so we're getting ever closer. At about 7 miles will be our intercept. Go for another notch of flaps and a little bit more thrust.
2500.
Spoilers can come in. Waiting for this to come alive. Decrease that speed a little bit more. Where are we at on the flaps? We are at... Okay, that's good. We'll keep it there until we drop the gear. About where we want to be on altitude. Maybe a tad high. That's okay. Actually, no, we're fine on altitude. I do believe that's alive. Yep, so we'll go ahead, beam. We'll start turning inbound. We're about 11.2 miles. We overshot it just a little bit. That's fine. Add some more thrust in for the turn here. At the let's see, where's that runway? It's a hard one to spot. There it is, I think, over there. Yeah, it's a hard one to spot. Maybe for that glide slope to come alive, which I think it is. Yeah, got the runway right there. How we doing on speed? Doing good. Drop the gear. Lift dumpers are armed. Flaps 40. Lead off that speed. Get some more juice. Go ahead and arm glide mode. And we'll set this to glide slope auto. About to stall it. Let's not do that. Oh, let's not stall it here. That would be considered, I believe, a bad day. Alright, down we come. Back off the throttles a little. A little bit more. My airplane. Correct for winds are calm here, so don't have a crosswind or anything to worry about. There's downtown Charleston right there off our nose. This thing's a little overpowered. It's a little pocket rocket, so. Beautiful approach. Alright, gears down. We got 4 green. We're good to land. Got no warnings, got no lights.
1,000.
Sorry if I'm a little quiet, I'm pretty focused here. A little high now.
Minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20,
I'll float it here.
10.
Of course, I'm going to float it here. Alright, there we go on the ground. Rigging. Use up the entire runway. Got no kind of thrust reverser or anything like that. What a floater. Alright. There we are. Not the prettiest landing, but gets the job done. Let's get her cleaned up. Spoilers, lift efforts coming in, flaps coming up. Get off to the right here. Good. Hold. Stop here. Alright, we'll go and get you zeroed out. And you can come to off. Oop. And I had a little malfunction here. Let's just reset that. Alright. Landing lights can come off. Exit lights can stay on. Strobe light can come off. Flaps are coming up. Transponder can go to standby. Come up here and start up the APU. Get that on the run. Alrighty. And we'll continue our taxi into the gate. Well, that was a flight for the books. For sure. Go ahead and engage the gust lock here. Not that it's very windy, but you know. Anyway, let's see. After landing checklist. Well, actually, there really isn't one. Well, anyway. Alright, so yeah, that'll be after we get to the gate. Alright. And the yaw damper can come off now. So can the probe heats. Anti-ice can come off. When the heat can stay on low. It's all good. Gen 3 can come on. APR can stay off till we get to the gate. Weather radar can go to standby. Alright, we're just going to pull into one of the gates here, so taxi light can come off. Just go into this next one here. We'll go ahead and creep up and then bring her to a stop. right about there. We'll go ahead and set the parking brake. We'll get those off as soon as possible to help cool the brakes. Anyway, APU air can come on. Pack 1 can come off. We'll heal the air shut off up here. And we'll go ahead and get the engines off. Here, the gens switch over. Go ahead and get up out of our seat here. Oops. Come on, Sim. You can do it. There we go. Alright, we'll go ahead and get the anti-collision light off. We'll get the seatbelt sign off. That's us set. We'll go ahead and, if I can, and it's going to be difficult about it. Let's reset it again there. Open the flight deck door, come out here. Let's get this door open. We'll get this configured for the jetway. Alright, and then we'll have them bring out the jetway to us.
Avoiding the crosswalk.
Alright, so we're going to leave the APU running because we don't have any type of GPU here, so that's fine. And that'll give us some air in the back for the packs, which is all fine and dandy. We're not picking up any extra catering here, however, we will upload fuel, and I believe we do have some tankering we're going to do because fuel's cheaper here.
Passengers boarding side.
Come on, it. Camera, there you go. We'll get the chocks up here, get the cargo doors open. And we'll release the parking brake, help us cool the brakes. Because our brake temps, if I remember where the gauge is, down here. Well, actually, they're not bad, surprisingly. It was pretty heavy on them. Right ones are pretty warm, left ones are okay. Alright, so there's that. Let's go ahead and run through the ramp through flight. Electrical is set. And we'll just switch this over to Gen 3. Make sure it's performing as it should. Seatbelt signs off. Air conditioning pressurization, one off, one on. APU bleed air is on. Anti-ice is off. Pitot heat is off. Radar transponder is standby. Flaps are up. Speed brakes are in. Lift dumpers are in. High pressure fuel valve levers are shut off. Booster pumps actually can come off. Anti-collision lights are off. Yaw damper is off. Flood controls are locked, and parking brake is released because we're on chocks. Alright, and that's our through flight checklist complete for the ramp and shutdown. So we'll come out here. This is where I'm going to leave it for right now. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. I'm going to use the restroom, and we're going to head to Washington National. See you guys in a few.